Again, and Happy New Year. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard. And I have actually got a real plan this time, and glasses. Well, not the right pair, but they're still glasses. So these are little tiny cards from some sort of file folder insert. They're not as flexible as the usual edge catchers I use, and I want them for my tree, for my branches. I expect I may put color in here to make my tree from, so I'm going to move those things out of the way. I've got a 16 by 20 inch canvas. Here is my tree, my sketch. So I'm going to try to have a sky area behind, and a land area behind, and water behind that, and land at the bottom, and that sounds like a lot to ask of me. So I may not be able to do this all at once, but I'm going to give it a shot to start with. And I have all of my colors shaken, and we will hope very much that they come out of the bottles that they're in. And I'm going to give myself some sky colors with white. And I'm not planning on pouring them so much as pouring them, yes, but swiping them across to fill in. And I'm not going to worry about it right now either. And I want them to be kind of dusky, so that's what that Prussian blue is in there for. And I can add whatever colors I want to that, and I'm going to put that aside. So I want some land colors too, and some of the same colors can go in the land portion. Prussian blue especially I like because it sells, and I've got some gold, which I always like in my land portion. And I like this forest. Had to be one, didn't there? Well, I know I shook it, but evidently I didn't clear the tip, so I'll leave that over there in the clear the tip pile. What else do I want in there? I have been enjoying some of that. I thought I brought that bottle out. Yes. I've been talking about Modern Masters. That's the look of this stuff. This happens to be a satin finish. I'm not sure how that's going to be because I just mixed that up today, but this other color that I just used is an orange, and it's iridescent, and it's wonderful. I really like it a lot. So that is my not quite black Anita's metallic. And what else do I want in there? I know I'm going to want some watercolors in a second, and for those I'm going to pull these out. I want more purple in my land by far, and I think I'm just going to give myself permission to make it funky. And not only that, to add a few very anomalous colors. I can see things selling up in there already, which is pretty neat. I'm squeezing those in, and I may have to use these for another painting later, but that's okay. So now I've got my sky, my land, and I'm going to give myself my water, which should be easy because every time I put turquoises and blues together, I get water. So let's grab some lighter color blue. Whoop, that was a color shift. That was a folk art color shift, in fact. That's similar to the other color. The two Bahama Blues by Anita's, one has my metallic, the iridescent medium, which is called Iridescent Pearl Fine in it. And I'm trying to save some time doing all this in advance. We'll see how that goes. I'm still going to have to mix up my tree if there's a tree to be mixed up at this point in time. I want to ask you guys if you could give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it, just in case. Do I want that purple in there? Maybe just a little. And then I'll dribble that across. I still need to grab my 16 by 20 inch canvas. And where'd my card go? My sketch says, do the water first. So, let's see. Do I really want to not? I really do. I really want to try and use my cup to drag my water across. I think I saved myself some tweezers, which means I'm going to grab whatever that is out of there. I want a small edge catcher, and I happen to have one. Now who knows what goes on. The only ways that I can tip this really are going to be sideways. And if I want that water wider, which I don't actually right at the moment, I'm going to have to add more stripes and merge them. But I kind of like the stylized look of that water right now. And I think I'm going to take my paint right off my edge catcher. And it doesn't have to be an even stripe, I don't believe. So let me just make it an uneven stripe. But it's a cool stripe. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Right now anyway. Just to sort of let it flow into the others. Now you can't even really tell, oh, you know what? I've got more paint. Let's use what we got. Just nudge it. Just use the Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula that's available with my other spatulas on the Amazon link below. Show more under the video. I did ask you guys for a thumbs up, right? I really need one. I don't know what's going on because my competition or my compatriots or whatever you want to call them are doing very well and I'm not doing well at all. So if you want to help me out, do me a favor and watch as much of the video as possible. All of it is preferable. My average watch time is about 6 minutes. So that means that the ones that are watching all the way through are only changed by the ones that are watching for a minute and a half. If you're a fan and you want to keep me on YouTube, I need your help. You know, I really want to tip that down now. And I almost have gotten rid of most of my paint. I probably should have saved some in case I needed to fix something. I'm going to do it. I'm going to probably do it in several directions. And I'm going to lose my center no matter what because I'm going to be putting a tree in there. This might be a 3-part series. I'm having a feeling. I don't really want that. I don't really want a big purple wave in there in the center, but I can see the flow of the paint. And I know that once I lay I'm going to have to swipe in my sky colors. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, I did. Because it's right there. And I hate waste. Those stripes are awesome. Alright, I'm done with the painting. You know I'm not. Don't believe me when I say stuff like that. So now, I'm going to throw that in the bucket and look for my next colors. And I guess I'm going to give, where's my crib sheet? If I want something for the tree to land on, I'm going to have to add it. And I think I'm just going to put a ground behind. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I can always do something over it if I don't like how it looks. And I know that's a really weird combination of Prussian blue and minty green. But I'm just looking to coat the surface. And if not too much canvas shows through, it'll be a really good thing to pour over later. Like I said, I want a tree in the center. I'd like this to be kind of shadowed. I'd really love to not have anything weird on my edges, like canvas showing through. And I want to experiment with some even weirder color combinations. And grab my tweezers because I see that thing that does not belong. And I see that thing that does not belong. And now they are not there anymore. So far that's Color Shift Minty Green and and Copper by who knows. Could be anyone. I think they're all good, to be honest with you. Copper looks like copper no matter who makes it. So I'm just going to wipe off my spatula on the bottom here. And I'm going to notice that that does not belong. I'm going to try and merge the two areas. I'm going to try and pay attention to the time. I don't have much time left, honestly. So I'm kind of hoping that if I hit this ocean or this body of water really fast, that I might slow it down a little bit when I tip the bottom, as long as I'm going to tip the bottom. And I think I'm going to tip the bottom. And I'm going to use just something to help me slide paint. I'm going to apply it with a smaller bottle because I really don't know how much I need. And I don't want super excess. I may be doing the exact same thing with the top. I'm extremely inclined to put my landmass at the center where the tree is going to start and tip down. So it's looking pretty dark so far, but I've never done anything exactly this elaborate and tried to make it into a video. So thank you for bearing with me. Hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for all the wonderful comments you left me all during 2019 where all things were weird and getting weirder at YouTube and are still weird for me. So just remember, if you want me to stay here, there are things that you can do. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, watch the videos longer especially. The commercial thing, I don't have a choice about the commercials if I want to make a living, and my income is already down $1,000 from last year, which does not leave $1,000, believe me. And that's art supply money right there, and whatever else. Like taking hubby out to dinner every couple weeks might be nice for somebody who's retired. Anyway, I digress. Pardon me, please. I'm going to knock off the rest of that black paint right there and wipe off my spatula on my... Whoops, I just wiped off my spatula on a balloon. Which reminds me, I do have balloons. So let's see what this does. And maybe this time we'll just play fast and loose and give myself permission to do whatever, including leaving some negative space, which would be kind of neat to experiment with that. I kind of want the rest of that color for behind the ocean, and I really want to put it someplace it's not going to be in my way, and grab this edge catcher I put aside for just this purpose. Right there. I'll let it roll over. Squeeze it back on, look for little things that don't belong in there. I think those are bubbles though. Are they attached to something larger? That's what I want to know. Alright, so let's go back the other way. Still catching paint. And I can cover something on my sides. So this looks like islands in some dark water. That's kind of cool. I just guess I'm going to have to put up with having a messy tile. I can rescue the paint off my edge catcher and use it, and do often. And if I want more paint, I'll add it. If I want more color, I'll add it. And I'm inclined to think I might want both. And I've got more. So what color do I like the most in there that I don't see very much of? And that happens to be the copper. So I'm going to do that right now. Right now. I've got something right in the middle, which is a good place for it actually, because that's probably where my tree's going. Where are those tweezers? I gotta know. Using your fingernails is not as good as a pair of tweezers. Now the tree's going to be offset, obviously. And even though those patterns look pretty funky, they change up pretty quick when you tip them. And the more paint I have, the better it will flow. And I really think I should have braved more paint, but this being my first time in this regard, I'm watching that ocean come down, which is kind of cool. Let's see if I can help even some of that flow out without destroying all the good stuff that's happening there too. It's kind of a plan in the back of my head that if I had to tip, or if I wanted to tip, that as things flow down, you know, that I could make them work out. That's pretty cool in the foreground. I kind of like the idea of adding some black across the top as a line of demarcation. I saw that thing come out. I did. Better remember where you see these things. Every time I make an ocean that waves back and forth instead of up and down, I don't get the same effect. Now I could take a straw to all this. I could take a basting brush to it if I wanted to too. Chances are pretty good I may go right across the top again. Whoops, there goes my ocean. Well, live and learn. Just finding out what we can do. Body of water is going to go where it wants to. I'm still putting a tree in there. Alright, I'm going to have to stop in 2 minutes, but I told you a lot of things that I wanted to tell you so far. And I'm going to play with a straw really quickly. Or a chain. No, I think it's going to be a straw. I'm going to try not to worry about what's in the middle too much. Because like I said, that's where my tree's going to go. And I don't mind if the bottom looks very different from what's above. I still want to try the basting brush. Because I can. The name of my book on the Amazon link below, show more, underneath the video. Just sort of messing in that black. See what I can come up with. Kind of like all of that wants to go everywhere. And I'll make up another pan of colors. So I will see you guys in part 2. This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard going, this could be a process. I love you guys. There's almost 85,000 of you. Please share my videos if you get a chance, and if you're looking for a Facebook group, look for Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciation Group or Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Fans and Collectors. And look for the playlists on my look for the playlist on my channel. There's 11 lists of genres and 10 lists of by the hundreds. I love you guys. I'm not sure what's going to happen with any of this, but I will see you back here shortly. Right after I take that paint off of that edge catcher and put it right in the bottom.